Right, we're going to briefly touch on some things with the nutrition. Now, this is more about you guys learning how you can set up where you need to be, and then how we're going to get you to where you should be based on a few things. So the key questions is, where is my current nutrition rated out of 10? So write that down now. Nutrition, 1 out of 10 if it's rubbish. Okay? And if, based on your goals, if nutrition was priority, you can put down, you need to rate it, where should it be? And then based on that, what sacrifices are you willing to make? Daily trip to the pie shop. Gone. Okay?
No. Yeah, I eat pies all the time.
Right, so some basic information on your macros. So your macronutrients, you've got your proteins, your carbs, your fats, and then there's also fibers. Okay, so carbohydrates, okay, they provide energy for the cells of the body. Pretty simple. Okay, you've got about 400 grams stored in muscle, 100 grams stored in the liver, which is roughly about 2,000 calories, but that's dependent on the size of the person. Okay, so carbs will stimulate the release of the hormone insulin, and we'll have a little bit of a look at that shortly. It's not carbs alone, so other foods do actually stimulate the release of insulin, but nothing more than carbs. Okay, too many carbohydrates over a long period of time will lead to insulin sensitivity, which will lead to stored body fat. Okay, there's approximately 4 calories per 1 gram of carbohydrates, and everyone's heard of the glycemic index in terms of how they rate it. Okay, there's also the insulin index, which rates its impact on your insulin, but to keep things simple, we don't really need to go into that too much. Okay, your fats, primary role, optimize cellular function, maintain healthy hormonal balance. Okay, they have a slow rate of digestion and therefore have a positive influence on the glycemic index of carbohydrates. So that's basically saying if you're having a high carb meal, if you put some fats with that, that's going to lower that impact on your elevation of blood sugars. Okay, because it's just going to pass through you a bit more slowly. Whereas if you have a bit of sugar, it's going to spike that blood sugar levels. Have a bit of sugar with some coconut oil, it's not going to digest as fast, it's not going to elevate it as fast. Okay, 9 calories per gram. Okay, and this is the key one, it's unlimited in terms of its storage of fat. You know, so you can just keep storing it, your body doesn't stop it. Whereas carbs, there's only so much muscle tissue we can store it in, and there's only so much tissue we can store it in. Protein, so protein primary role is the building blocks of the body, so it can be used for energy if we are deficient in carbs or low levels of fat. Okay, so repairs tissue in the entire body, hair, skin, muscles, etc. Can be used as energy if we don't have carbs, aids the repair of muscles, and no, you will not bulk up from eating too much protein. And there's 4 calories per gram of protein. Questions on those? Okay, so this is where we're going to start working some things out. Okay, who's heard of BMR? Your basal metabolic rate? Okay, so the way I like to define this is basically it's a calculation used to determine what they will give you if you're lying on your bed in hospital to keep you sustained. Okay, so it doesn't take into account exercise, it doesn't take into account getting up and moving around or getting up and going to the office to work to function. It's you lying on a bed being fed through a drip. Okay? So what I want you to do is have a look on here and find your BMR. Can everyone see that? No?
It's a bit small.
It's a bit small. Okay, if you want to jump up and come up and have a look, that's probably going to be easier. So we've got females, 18 to 29, 30 to 59, 60 to 70. Okay, everyone got something? Okay, so what we need to eat. Okay, first thing is note down how many hours sleep you get currently. So, Sam. Okay, note down how many hours are left in the day. Okay, so based on that, what we want to do is, now the reason we do this is because the only time we're really lying on our back doing nothing in that hospital bed situation is when we sleep. Okay, so we're going to divide this 2,000 by 24. That's going to give us an hourly consumption. Does that make sense? So if I was 2,000 over 24, I don't have a calculator.
I'll do it. 83.33.
Okay, 83.33. Okay, everyone got that? Okay, now you're going to times that by the 7. Times sleep.
583.31.
583. Okay. That's how many calories while I'm sleeping. Everyone got that? Okay, now we need to look at what sort of activity levels we have during the day outside of exercise. Okay, so as a guesstimate, I'd say an office worker, they're doing a little bit more than just sleeping, but they're not doing a whole lot more. So it's 1.1. Someone who's in retail or someone who's up and down and on their feet and moving around a little bit, I would say 1.2. Construction worker, 1.3. Physically active all day. Okay? So, we take whatever that number was. So, okay, if you're an office worker, 1.1 multiplied by the 17 hours.
18.7.
Actually, sorry, go the other way around. Sorry, 1.1 times this.
By the 83.33.
By your hourly. So what was that?
91.66.
91.66.
And then
Okay.
times it by 17.
1.1. Oh, that's what that is.
66, yeah, that's 83.33.
Make sense? Okay. Then we take that and times that by the 17 hours left in the day.
1558.27.
155. Okay. Is everyone at that same point? Does everyone understand why we've got to that point? Okay. Okay, now we need to add these two together. So what you're burning while you're sleeping, what you're burning during the day.
2,141.58.
2,141.
0.58.
Okay. So as an approximate, before I do any exercise, to get through the day, I need that amount of calories. Okay. Who's got something written down there? Just throw a number at me. Who's got something? 1687. Okay. Do you have any idea of what you would currently eat? No? Okay. Does anyone currently monitor their intakes? Yep. What are you currently in?
It sits around 1900.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and what did you work out your BMR? Oh, the active BMR? Just finishing?
Sorry.
Okay.
That's really low. How do yours?
How did we go? Did anyone get stuck with that?
Do you want to use
Or
my
did we get
calculator?
to where we needed to be? Okay, 1550. Okay, and then you're factoring in for a bit of for your exercise, so you're probably sitting about right. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so now we're going to allow for exercise. Now the best way to do this is to have use a heart rate monitor. Okay, not 100% accurate all the time, but it's going to give us a measure, and that's all we're doing is finding a baseline, so we've got a measure. So if you've got a heart rate monitor, when you come into train, wear it, and you'll get a collection of data that you can use to manipulate your diet. Okay, but have a look here. Look at these numbers and work out an estimate of currently where you might be at in terms of the exercise that you currently do. Okay, so if you're doing HIIT training for 20 to 30 minutes and it's a 10 out of 10 intensity, you're probably burning 400 calories, maybe more. If it's 8 out of 10, or if it's any lower than 8 out of 10, it's not really dangerous. Who uses a heart rate monitor when they train? Yeah. What's your sort of average workout?
It depends what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Do a run in the morning or something, probably about 500-600 calories.
Yeah.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
Do you want to do paper? Sure. I love water calculator. Anyone else need more paper?
Yeah.
No, everyone's good.
Okay, so if we've got a rough idea of this, what we need to do, and this is for simplicity's sake, okay? Say we train, we do HIIT 2 times per week, we burn 400 calories each, that's 800 calories. Okay, we're doing weights 3 times per week, we're burning 300 calories in that, that's 900 calories. Okay, we add these two up, 1700 calories, and then we divide that by 7 days of the week to give us our daily exercise expenditure.
242.85.
242.85. Okay. Does that make sense? Because we're probably not going to go to the depth of, okay, I'm going to have a high day, low day, because I'm going to be training more on this day, less on this day. In terms of setting up a weekly structure that's achievable, it's easier just to go, okay, in a 7-day period, I'm going to exercise this amount, I'm going to burn this amount of calories, okay, I'm going to add that to every day, okay? We can start playing with those other ideas as you get more advanced, but really, your body doesn't know so much, okay? So if I add that to my daily, that's
2383.85.
2383.8. Okay, with exercise, okay, on my daily, that's how much I need to stay the same. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, so now one thing we find with a lot of people is they haven't been doing this for a long time. So they might have been sticking to something that's a very low calorie diet, or they might have been eating reasonably, maybe eating 2,000 calories a day, but then going in and burning 1,000 calories a day, doing long runs and then doing exercise or doing excessive cardio. So we want to avoid that. Okay. So what we need to do is take a food history. And so that's going to be your guys' first tasks, is to go to MyFitnessPal and or something else that you use, but it needs to equate your calories per day, and it needs to also break down your daily macros. So how much protein, how much carbs, how much fats you're getting. Okay, so we can see where you are compared to where you need to be. Okay. Okay, once we've established that, we can see what sort of gap we've got. If it's a big gap, well then we need to slowly bring that up, and you'll probably find you're eating more food. Okay? If it's the opposite, great, that's easy. We just bring you down, tighten up your food, and your weight will fall off.